Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be going over why you may want to choose to avoid using pure black or pure white in your designs. For everything that we create, we obviously want to create the best possible experience for the user or the viewer, whatever you may be creating. And avoiding pure white and pure black can create a better, more natural experience for the viewer or the user. Think about when you're reading a book, for example. It's very rare in real life that we ever see a pure white or a pure black. If you're reading a book, you get like an off-white, and even if it's printed super well, you're going to get an off-black on the page. Like I said, very, very rare that in the natural world we ever see those pure whites and pure blacks. And now that we're constantly looking at screens all the time, seeing those pure whites and pure blacks and that really high contrast text can actually cause a lot of eye strain and make it difficult for viewers to read your content, or if not difficult, cause eye strain while they're doing so, leading to potential headaches after reading long articles. So let's take a quick look at an example of using pure white and black in a design versus using a slight off white and a slight off black, and see which you think looks better and more pleasurable to read. Here on the screen we have pure black and pure white on the left, and what many consider to be a more pleasurable, easy reading experience on the right. So assuming that you liked the colors on the right better than on the left, we can jump into how you can select those colors to fit within the brand that you are creating. So obviously most brands have a dominant brand color, and we can kind of use that to inform our color choices for what we are choosing for our black and white, or our off black and off white. So say you have a brand here that has a color of maybe this orange here. And this is your main brand color here, right? So we can open up our swatch panel once we have that main brand color established and copy the hex code, which will allow us to bring it into another variation. So we have this as our main color here. Then what we'll do to select our black is copy that same hex code. So you can do that, or just alt click and drag over the rectangle, which will create a duplicate of the rectangle. And you will have the hex code already selected. From there, what we can do is kind of drag down here to around this area. It's not an exact science, but obviously, you can do testing with different users to see, what variation of this hex code is going to make the most sense for what you're doing. So running some standard A/B testing, if that's something that you have access to. So that'll create our off black. Again, in this one, we're just gonna kind of select a random one, but always possible to do some testing. So that'll suffice for that. Then what we'll do is drag this original rectangle again, so we have our hex code copied, and we will create our off white. So again, just come over here to your swatches and pick something and around. You're gonna get a little closer to the pure white in this one, because you do want it to be enough contrast. So we will get maybe somewhere around here. Again, you can play with this in your own work. This is just for tutorial's sake, but something like that, so you get a slightly warmer white, and then we can see how these kind of work together here as a color palette. A lot of times you're going to be having white as your background and black as your text. So we can kind of see how these interact, and if you want to, you can play around with them from here. But this is a good way to get kind of a custom color palette for whatever you may be making, whether it's a poster, a website, but a color palette that all falls within the same general brand. By copying the exact hue that you have from your main brand color and bringing it into the blacks and the whites of whatever you might be making, you can really create a consistent look throughout whatever you may be making. As with anything you might be making, especially if it's a website, you're probably going to want to run these color choices through an accessibility checker. I have one of those linked down below. Super easy to do in Figma. There's a bunch of plugins for it. There's also a bunch of websites. So like I said, check the description below if you want to check your color palette. I can tell you for certain, as long as you stay within a close range of what I did in today's video, you're easily going to pass any accessibility checker. But always good to double check anyways, especially with your main brand color on top of the white. If you're using it for headers or something, you're going to want to make sure that that is readable and passes accessibility standards. So hopefully you found this quick tutorial helpful. It is a great way to create slightly less eye straining and more pleasurable colors for whatever you may be creating, and create more positive experiences for your users or viewers, whether it's making a website or a poster or whatever you may be doing. So if you found this video helpful, it would be awesome if you would leave a like, and if you're interested in more content like this, it'd be great if you'd stick around and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for stopping by.